To understand this exchange, let's rewind to the weekend. Senator Van Hollen, speaking at the Polk County Steak Fry in Des Moines, Iowa, voiced his support for Zohran Mamdani, a progressive New York assemblyman running for mayor. Mamdani, who secured the Democratic nomination through a ranked choice primary earlier this summer, managed to shock many in the New York political establishment, including former Governor Andrew Cuomo, by defeating more traditional candidates. Despite Mamdani's momentum, big names like Jeffries and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer stopped short of endorsing him after his primary victory. Instead, they offered congratulations, while keeping their official positions neutral. Van Hollen's comments appeared to directly challenge that neutrality, calling attention to the hesitation from New York's most powerful Democrats. That's what set the stage for the spokesperson's biting "Chris Van Who?" remark. The official statement from Jeffries' team balanced seriousness with sarcasm. Justin Chermel, Jeffries' spokesperson, told the New York Times that Leader Jeffries will have plenty to say about the general election in due time, well ahead of November 4th. But the real headline grabber was his closing line. Meanwhile, confused New Yorkers are asking themselves the question, Chris Van Who? It was a soundbite tailor-made for social media, instantly clipped, shared, and debated. For political insiders, this wasn't just a one-off joke. It was a strategic way to dismiss criticism without engaging in a lengthy back and forth. By framing Van Hollen as irrelevant to the local conversation, Jeffries' team effectively downplayed the senator's influence on New York politics, while still signaling that their focus remains on the bigger picture, the upcoming election. The response has triggered mixed reactions. Supporters of Jeffries see the remark as a witty and calculated pushback, keeping focus on the party's broader goals instead of getting bogged down in internal debates. On the other hand, critics argue that brushing off a sitting senator might risk deepening divides within the Democratic Party at a time when unity is crucial heading into the general election. Meanwhile, Mamdani's campaign continues to gain national attention, especially among younger and more progressive voters. The lack of endorsement from Democratic leaders like Jeffries and Schumer has also fueled speculation about where the establishment stands in relation to the party's progressive wing. For Van Hollen, his decision to speak out may have been an effort to bridge that gap, but instead, it placed him at the center of an unexpected political spat. Chris Van Who? That's the phrase making headlines this week, after a spokesperson for House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries fired back at Senator Chris Van Hollen. The Maryland senator recently stirred the pot by criticizing New York Democrats for not endorsing Zohran Mamdani, the Democratic nominee for New York City's mayoral race. In response, Jeffries' spokesperson, Justin Chermel, delivered a sharp quip to the New York Times, suggesting that many New Yorkers weren't exactly familiar with Van Hollen's name. This unexpected jab has sparked a wave of conversation online and in political circles, as observers weigh in on what the remark really means for the dynamics within the Democratic Party. It's not every day you see a sitting senator brushed off so casually, and it raises a bigger question. Is this a political feud, or just a bit of playful messaging strategy? So, what's next? As November 4th approaches, pressure will likely mount on figures like Jeffries and Schumer to make their positions clear on Mamdani's candidacy. Whether they choose to endorse or remain neutral could send important signals about the Democratic Party's direction heading into 2025 and beyond. For now, though, the Chris Van Who comment has taken on a life of its own, embodying both the humor and the tension that often swirl around politics. It's a reminder that sometimes one offhand remark can dominate headlines, spark national conversation, and even overshadow the original issue at hand. Whether you see it as a playful jab or a pointed dismissal, this moment adds another layer of intrigue to a high-stakes election season. One thing's for sure, This story isn't over yet, and we'll be watching closely as it unfolds.